Hi everybody, this is Ed Bowen, Safety Director of Berglund Construction. For this week's Toolbox Talk, we're going to talk about temp electric. We're going to show you some stuff that's going on with the electrical panels. We're going to talk a little bit about GFCI protection. We're going to talk about temp lighting. We're going to talk about everyday extension cords that we're using on our projects as well. So come on, we'll come over here. We'll take a look at our electrical panel, our temp electrical panel. I talked to the electrician just a little bit ago. He did give me authority to open this one up and show you guys what's going on. So come here. First, it is labeled dangerous. It's energized. There is one electrician on this job right now for the time being. Everybody knows who he is. So if there is an issue with the circuit, anything like that, the electrician is going to go into this panel to fix whatever issue that is. None of us, we're not qualified electricians to make any repairs at any time in these panels. So we'll open this panel up. We have all of our circuits. Where circuits are not at, we have fill-ins or knockouts. Sometimes they call them knockouts. These are all in place as they should be. If they were not in place, we can actually have an exposure to electrical issues. He does have them labeled, temporary labeled. So this panel is actually pretty good job. This is a newer panel. A lot of times, electricians, they'll take these panels from job to job to job, and because they're running so many different circuits on so many different jobs, sometimes it'll just look like Swiss cheese. There's holes in these panels. Those actually need to be filled just like those circuits do as well. As you can see, this is a live feed that comes in from the existing building. These little knockouts that are covered in, you would see these on older panels, right? So again, any holes, that type of stuff does need to be filled in. Again, just to prevent any incidental contact with the electrical that's inside. So on all of our construction projects, we have to be completely GFCI protected for any power that we're using, any temporary power, even permanent power as well. So, we'll show you a GFCI adapter in a little bit, but you can see the panel that the electrician made here, the stand. We have one of these on every floor. Every outlet receptacle that we have is GFCI protected. So anybody that's going to need power on this floor is going to go to this unit here. So GFCI protected, 100% all times in construction. As I showed you at that temporary panel, how all those receptacles were GFCI protected, this receptacle here is not GFCI protected. So whatever power we are running from this receptacle has to have GFCI protection, which we added one of our adapters to, so they are doing the correct thing. Difference between a circuit breaker and GFCI protection: circuit breaker protects the equipment, GFCI protection protects you guys. So we do have some temporary lighting on this project. This is pretty much your standard string lights that you're going to see on most construction projects. All of these string lights do have to be suspended at their light, at the top of the light here. They cannot be wrapped around things or hung by the cord itself unless it's actually rated for it. This temporary string light here does show that it needs to be supported at the light itself, as there's a grommet up there to support it from. As you can see back here, we do have one of our temporary lights, the cage is open. So we will have the electrician come up here and fix that, because you do have to have the bulbs protected at all times. If there's a broken bulb or a missing bulb, that is a potential an electrical hazard. You can contact that, potentially get shocked, maybe even worse. So any broken or missing bulb does have to get replaced immediately. So I did want to show you guys another thing on temp lights. They will splice light strings to other light strings to keep them all in the same circuit. This way we have plenty of power for all the other trades to use, that type of stuff. There is live ends on some of these, especially after they make splices. It's actually got to be in a box like this. You can see that box is fully covered, fully protected. Somebody could contact that and not have to worry about getting shocked or even worse, electrocuted. So if these are live and you do have an exposure on something like this, you have to protect it. We cannot just put a wire nut on there and tape that up. It actually has to have proper protection. Some of these components come with the lights. You can get the components, you know, at electrical stores, things like that, but it's got to be a proper protection on there. And you will see the other thing about this here is we do have two different types of lights. The standard string light that we showed earlier, and a little, you know, bigger light. It's protected, it has the cage on there. It doesn't need one on the bottom, but it does have it around there. So a couple different types of temporary lights that we have. I have Gary Sproul, one of our superintendents, with us. Gary's going to talk about one of the challenges that he had during his demolition phase.
So throughout some of the demolition process, you expose wires. Sometimes you don't know where it's fed from. Sometimes you know what circuits it's taken off of. Sometimes you think it's dead and it's not. Every superintendent can carry one of these voltage testers, test out the electric, make sure it's live or dead. This is dead. So this is fed somewhere and not connected at the source right now. So we know just by a simple test that this is not exposing anyone to any danger.
Another thing we always got to keep in mind is throughout construction, we need to keep our areas of egress, such as our stairways, lit 100% of the time. If there ever is an emergency, we don't want anybody running down a dark, you know, set of stairs. So please keep that in mind at all times as well. Last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, our extension cords, the cords that we use on our project. They do have to be rated for either heavy duty or extra heavy duty. As you can see, this brand new cord here, highlighted in yellow, is a heavy duty cord. We need to inspect our cords all the time before use. Okay, if it's damaged, we are not using those cords. If it's missing a ground prong, we are not using those cords. Qualified electricians are the only ones that are able to repair any cords. And cords are so inexpensive, it's not even worth it. Temp electric on our project is very important, right? We need the lighting, we need the power to complete our work. But it's also very hazardous if it's not done properly. Electrical hazard is one of OSHA's big focus 4 hazards, one of the biggest killers in construction, contact with electricity. So it's very important that we're careful around it. Only qualified electricians are doing any repairs or anything like that to electrical. So we got to be safe working around it. Thank you everybody, have a safe day and have a safe week.